Let's be real about ED for a second. For years, you've probably been told it's all about one thing: blood flow. It's why those little pills exist, and it's what most of the conversation is about. But what if that's only the last domino to fall in a much bigger chain reaction? What if the real key isn't another pill, but a blueprint hidden inside your own brain that doctors are often too busy to walk you through? You've been told it's a plumbing problem. Now, maybe you've even tried the pills. But what if the secret to lasting vitality isn't down there, but in the command center that runs the whole show? Your brain. If you're frustrated with temporary fixes and you're looking for a real long-term solution, you've been looking in all the wrong places. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I'll show you the blueprint that can change everything. I'm Dr. Anand Chaturvedi, psychiatrist and clinical researcher, and I'm passionate about helping people understand the science behind their own bodies. So let's get one thing straight. Yes, blood flow is absolutely essential for an erection. When you're aroused, nerve signals tell the smooth muscles of the penile arteries to relax, letting blood rush in and create rigidity. The most common medications, PDE5 inhibitors, work by boosting the final step in that process. But here's the thing, focusing only on that is like trying to fix a flickering light by changing the bulb over and over without ever checking the switch or the wiring. Blood flow is the effect, not the ultimate cause. So for about 30 to 40% of men, those pills don't work effectively, precisely because the problem isn't just at the finish line. It's happening way earlier in the command chain. Treating a symptom only gets you a temporary result, and to find a real solution, we have to go to the source. The problem doesn't start in the body, it starts in the brain. So an erection isn't just a mechanical process. Think of it more like a neurochemical symphony, and your brain is the conductor. It all depends on a delicate balance of signals coming from your central nervous system. This is what we'll call the brain erection blueprint. It has three critical parts that have to work in perfect harmony. So the first one, the spark, second one, the wiring, and then the last one, the amplifier. Get this, and you can start to take back control. So first, let's talk about the spark. This is where it all begins, in your mind. Arousal doesn't start with physical touch. It starts with a thought, an image, or a feeling. So these triggers light up the brain's reward systems, and the neurotransmitter dopamine steps onto the center stage. So dopamine is your motivation molecule. When your brain gets a sexual cue, it releases dopamine, which tells your body, hey, pay attention. This is important. So that dopamine surge then activates another key player, oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, inside a critical brain hub known as the paraventricular nucleus, or the PVN. So the release of oxytocin from the PVN sends powerful pro-erectile signals down to the spinal cord, kicking the whole process into gear. But that spark can be put out just as quickly. So this happens when an opposing neurotransmitter called serotonin enters the picture. Serotonin's job is basically to hit the brakes on sexual function. Stress, anxiety, and depression are so destructive for your sex life because they crank up serotonin levels, creating static on the line that blocks the pro-erectile signals from dopamine and oxytocin. So it's also the main reason why common antidepressants like SSRIs, which increase serotonin, frequently cause ED and kill libido as a side effect. Your mindset literally changes your brain chemistry, either creating the spark or snuffing it out. Now, next up is the wiring. So once the brain gives the green light, that signal needs a clear path. Think of it like a superhighway of nerves running from your brain down to your spinal cord and out to the penis. The health of these nerves is non-negotiable. If the wiring is damaged or there's interference, the message never arrives. So this is where the neurotransmitter noradrenaline comes in, but as an antagonist. Now, noradrenaline is part of your fight or flight response. It causes the smooth muscles in the penis to contract, keeping it flaccid. So when you're stressed or scared, your body is flooded with noradrenaline, which essentially slams the door on any chance of an erection. It's a survival mechanism. So your body is saying, now is not the time for procreation, it's time to run from that tiger. So chronic stress keeps this anti-erection system on high alert, constantly messing with the signal. And finally, there's the amplifier. And this is the part everyone knows, but they usually see it in isolation. So the amplifier is the combination of hormones and ultimately blood flow. Only after the brain sends the go signal, which is the spark, and the nerves successfully transmit the wiring, does this final step happen. So nerve endings in the penis release a flood of pro-erectile neurotransmitters, and the most important one is nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is the master key that unlocks blood flow. So it signals the muscle cells in your arteries to relax, allowing blood to pour in and create a firm erection. Hormones, especially testosterone, play a huge role here. So while low testosterone isn't always the direct cause of ED, it's a critical modulator. Testosterone helps prime the brain to be more responsive to dopamine and keeps the entire engine from brain to body running smoothly. It amplifies the signals and makes sure all the machinery is in good working order. So you see the problem. The pills that target blood flow are just trying to crank up the volume on the amplifier at the very end. They do nothing with the spark in your brain or the health of your neural wiring. So that's why they can fail and why a whole body approach is the only real path to a long-term solution. So how do we fix this? How do we support the entire system instead of just patching the last step? So that's where the Blueprint Action Plan comes in. It's a series of real, actionable steps designed to get each part of your machinery working for you. So step one is you want to rewire your spark. This is all about getting your brain chemistry to work for you, not against you. To boost dopamine and tame serotonin, you need to manage your mental state. The most powerful tool here is mindfulness and stress management. Chronic stress jacks up cortisol and noradrenaline, which are arousal killers. Practices like meditation, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes a day, have been shown to calm the brain's fear center and reduce background noise of stress. So this lets the pro-erectile dopamine signals come through loud and clear. Another key is to focus on sensory input. So instead of getting trapped in your head with performance anxiety, consciously shift your focus to the physical sensations of intimacy, touch, scent, sound. This grounds you in the moment and activates your brain's natural arousal pathways instead of its anxiety circuits. Now, step two is you have to nourish your wiring. So your nerves are your body's communication grid and they need maintenance. The single most important factor here is quality sleep. So when you sleep, your nervous system repairs itself. Skimping on sleep is like letting your body's critical infrastructure fall apart. And of course, your diet plays a huge role. Nerves need specific nutrients to function at their best. B vitamins, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids are all essential for nerve health. So a diet packed with whole foods, veggies, and healthy fats is a diet for healthy nerves. Plus, regular exercise does more than just help with blood flow. It improves the efficiency of your entire nervous system. So activities like yoga and Tai Chi are especially great because they combine physical movement with mindfulness, hitting both the wiring and the spark at the same time. Now, Blueprint Step 3, you want to optimize the amplifier. So this is where we support the final step, blood flow and hormones. The goal is to maximize your nitric oxide production. And the best way to do this is through your diet. Eat plenty of nitrate-rich foods like spinach, arugula, and beets. Your body is a master at converting these nitrates into nitric oxide. Supplements like L-citrulline and L-arginine can also be effective as they are the amino acid building blocks for nitric oxide production, though you should always check with a doctor before starting any new supplements. And consistent physical activity is the other pillar here. Cardio strengthens your heart and improves circulation, while strength training can help boost testosterone, which keeps the whole system primed for action. So by addressing these three areas, you're not just putting a band-aid on the problem, you're rebuilding the entire system from the ground up. So For far too long, the conversation about ED has been missing the bigger picture. It's been stuck on the final mechanical step while completely ignoring the master controls that run the whole show. The answer isn't just about forcing more blood into a system that isn't getting the right commands. Stop treating the symptom, start supporting the entire system from your brain to your body. That is the blueprint for reclaiming your vitality for good. This is about building a foundation of neurological health, hormonal balance, and mental clarity that lets your body work the way it was designed to. Now, while this blueprint is a powerful new way to think about your body, it goes without saying, always talk to a qualified medical professional about your health. They can help rule out any underlying conditions and create the best plan specifically for you. So if this new perspective clicked for you and you want to keep exploring how to take back control of your health, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.